preparations for tomorrow's game are going on track?
Yeah, it's been good. We've had a good couple of recovery days really, and then a preparation today, pre-game, and it's all gone well.
Vanuatu are an attacking side by reputation. What do you expect their key strengths to be?
I think we're going to face a similar test to what we've faced in the group games. They're a team that we fully respect. I would say they've probably got a little bit more of an edge than a few of the other teams that we face in terms of technical ability. Some players have got a little bit more power and strength, a bit more size. So I think it's a team that likes to play, which will suit us.
You're putting together a really exciting young squad, not just here, but also as part of the All Whites. Which individual players have impressed you within your ranks at this tournament so far?
It's really hard to pick some names out. I think, listen, and I know it's something that people just give in interviews, but it's hard to single anyone out. I mean, I think you've watched our games. We've really had a really strong collective performances from everyone, subs coming on the pitch, even the reserve, the second group that came on the other day. I would say if I was going to pick players out, I've been really impressed with the captain, Louis Fenton, who's come in. Is someone who I haven't really had a lot of time to work with because he's had a few disappointing injuries in this last year. And when he came into the career trip, I was really surprised, and he came off the bench, and I was just really pleased that we found another player. So he's come in, he's been a great leader, great example, he's an honest player. And we've got a handful of those senior guys in the group that have been very similar, just honest, good examples, leaders, and want to do really well for their country.
One player who has stood out to some observers is your goalkeeper, Max Crocombe. He's pulled off a couple of fantastic saves, but he also looks like a natural-born leader for the group. What is Max like to work with?
He's great. Listen, he's another one. He came with us in Korea, and since Korea to now, he looks like he's grown, not just physically, but personally. He's come into the camp, and he's really stood out as being one of the leaders. And I was considering him for the captaincy, from the start. I gave him the captaincy for the last game when Louis was out, and I gave him the armband because he's a good character, he's a strong character, he's a presence. He's come into camp and he says what needs to be said, and he's been a good leader. So I've been really pleased with him, and his performances have been very strong as well.
What would it mean to you as a coach and to your players to qualify for Rio 2016?
It's very important. I think, what's incredible is, I've been in New Zealand for a year now, and I've spent more time with this team than I have with the first team. So we've had coming up to 3 weeks now together, and I can't tell you the amount of the time we're having together, how valuable that is, and how further along we are, and having games and feedback and games and feedback. And to be able to replicate this next year and have a good chunk of time with a similar group with some added senior players in there is really similar to having time with the first team. So this is really important, because what we'll do is we'll go into September's game, the FIFA window, with a core of the players there further along than we would have been having not done this.
What sort of values and personality traits and characteristics do you look for in players that you're bringing into your environment?
Work ethic, honesty, discipline, respect. I think we've shown in all our games, a total team ethic and commitment to each other. I can't remember in the last 3 games a player not pulling his weight for his teammates or throwing his arms in the air and not responding the right way. I think what we're doing, we've got now players in the group that are just totally committed to the team. And again, I think the captain, when I say those words of honesty and work ethic, I mean, you just look at someone like Louis Fenton, and that, you know, he would typify what this team means and stands for, and he's not just the only one. There's many through that group are very, very similar.
You've got an astonishing number of full international caps in this group, 21 by my count. How many of these players will formulate the basis of your FIFA World Cup aspirations?
I think a good core of them will be involved. I mean, listen, there's players that have come into this group now that we haven't really seen before, and they're good enough. They're definitely good enough. You know, I've said all along, if some of these players had a different passport, they'd be playing in leagues around Europe and but because their pathway's not, you know, it's not very easy, and they've got Kiwi passport, and it restricts them to go and play in the A-League and for, you know, other clubs, or going to Europe, then their pathway's a little bit restricted. But the reality is they're good enough. These players are good enough. So what this period is about for me is to identify all the players that we're going to commit to and invest time in, and really bring with us through for the rest of the campaign.
Bill Tuiloma is one such character who has all those traits that you just described. What's Bill like to work with, and how influential has he been around the group since the FIFA Under-20 World Cup?
Bill's a great character. You're right in what you say in terms of all the characteristics, what we're looking for. He typifies that, and on top of that, he's a good personality in terms of having a laugh and a joke with the players, and he keeps the mood of the camp very light. So he's again, he's an honest player. He's at a really, really important stage of his career. We want nothing more. First and foremost, I want nothing more than for him to go and crack it in his club career. And hopefully, you know, we can give him enough here and try and help him enough here that will help his club career as well. And I know long term, if he's successful with his club, he's going to help us. But listen, I want nothing for a player like Bill, or a kid like Bill. You can't help but just want him to succeed. And he's got his foot in the door at Marseille. He's done incredibly well. He should be very proud. But really, the hard work starts now. He needs now to go to the next level. And as I say, we want nothing more than him to crack into that first team and really push on from here.